Good evening, everybody. Thank you for your indulgence. We're sorry we're running a little late this evening. Welcome to tonight's Board of Commissioners meeting for today is June 17th. We're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Commissioner Stein's going to do the honors of leading us. Thank you, Commissioner Stein. Manager Elliott, would you kindly call the roll, please?
Yes, good evening. Commissioner Armand,
Present.
Commissioner Brockington.
Here.
Commissioner Cherico.
Here.
Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
Commissioner Norris.
Here.
Commissioner Stein.
Here.
And Commissioner Jeremy Walls.
Here.
Everyone's present.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item number 3, the Sunshine Act announcement, and I'll turn it over to our solicitor, Mr. Diazio.
Thank you. Good evening. The board met in executive session 3 times since last month's public meeting. There were executive sessions on June 4th and June 10th to discuss the ongoing search for the next chief of police. And then there was an executive session this evening, June 17th. Matters related to collective bargaining negotiations were discussed, as well as multiple personnel matters. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Diazio. Moving on to item number 4, public comment on agenda items. This is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on anything that is on the agenda. So there will be other opportunities to provide public comment, whether that's on things we're going to vote on or non-agenda items, and that can happen at Citizens Forum. But now we'll open the floor both here in the hall and then on Zoom for anyone who wants to comment publicly on an agenda item. We'll look here in the hall. All right, seeing none. How about on Zoom? I don't see anyone raising their hand. Going once, twice. Okay, we're going to close public comment on agenda items. Again, there will be other opportunities for folks to provide comments as we proceed through the meeting. Moving on to item number 5, approval of the Board of Commissioners regular meeting minutes dated May 20th, 2026. I will move the approval. Are there comments or questions from the board? From the public? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of approving the Board of Commissioner regular meeting minutes from May 20th, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Item number 6, acceptance of the executive summary financial report for the period ending April 2026. I so move. Comments or questions from the board? From the public? Seeing none, all those in favor of acceptance say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Item number 7, acceptance of the accounts paid report for the period ending April 2026. I so move. Comments or questions from the board, from the public? Okay, seeing none, all in favor of acceptance of the accounts paid report for the period ending April 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Item number 8, presentation of a proclamation recognizing June 19th, 2026 as Juneteenth. And I'm going to turn it over to my friend and colleague, Commissioner Brockington, for the proclamation.
Thank you, Mr. President. A proclamation of the Board of Commissioners of Cheltenham Township. Whereas Juneteenth commenced June 19th, 1865, when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and informed the enslaved people that they were free. 2.5 years after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1st, 1863. And whereas the history and culture of African Americans in the United States are an integral part of our nation's heritage. And whereas Juneteenth is a celebration of freedom and a reminder of the long and arduous journey towards equality of African Americans. It's also time to reflect on the impact of slavery and the work towards a more just and equitable society. And whereas on June 17th, 2021, President Joe Joseph Biden signed a bill to establish Juneteenth as a federal holiday, commemorating and the end of slavery in the United States. Sorry, and making a significant step towards acknowledging and honoring the history of enslaved people. And whereas, as we celebrate Juneteenth, let us recommend ourselves to the work of equality and justice and remind ourselves of the centuries of struggles, courage, and hope that have brought us time of progress and possibilities, and to ensure that the events of 1865 are not forgotten. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Township of Cheltenham, Montgomery County, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, hereby recognize June 19th, 2026 as Juneteenth, and be it further resolved that we will recognize and honor the legacy of Juneteenth, done in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, under our hand in the seal of the township, this 17th day of June, AD 2026, in the year of the Township of Cheltenham 127. This proclamation was signed by our board president, Matthew Arman, and our acting township manager, Allison Elliott. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. I'll also add, in commemoration of Juneteenth, the township will be doing its flag raising tomorrow, which is June 18th, but nevertheless, at Lamont Community Center at noon, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're available, please feel free to join us and for that commemoration and flag raising. So thank you, Commissioner Brockington. On to item number 9, presentation of a proclamation recognizing July as Parks and Recreation Month. I will do the honors of presenting the proclamation. This is a proclamation of the Board of Commissioners of Cheltenham Township, whereas Parks and Recreation is an integral part of communities throughout this country, promoting health and wellness and improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. And whereas Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention deficit disorders, and Alzheimer's. And whereas Parks and Recreation encourages physical health by providing space for sports, trails, swimming pools, and other activities designed to promote active lifestyles. Whereas Parks and Recreation programming and activities are critical to childhood development, providing educational and social learning opportunities. Whereas Parks and Recreation increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of the local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction. And whereas parks and natural recreation areas are fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community as adaptable infrastructure that makes our communities resilient in the face of climate change, ensures the ecological beauty of our community, and provides a place for children and adults to connect with nature. And whereas the U.S. House of Representatives has designated July as Parks and Recreation Month, and Cheltenham recognizes the benefits derived from parks and recreation resources, now therefore be it resolved that by the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Cheltenham, that we hereby recognize the month of July as Parks and Recreation Month, and that's done here in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania, under our hands in the seal of the township, this 17th day of June, 2026. Thank you all. Okay. Moving on then to item number 10. The Public Works Committee met on June 3rd, and our chair, Commissioner Lewis, will has some business for the board.
Greetings. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, Public Works Committee met on June 3rd. We had a very good meeting, and we have 2 follow-up items. 10A, I move to award a contract to T. Schaefer Contractors in the amount of $313,947.95 for the Tookany Creek Parkway Road Diet Project. Mr. President?
Thank you for your motion, Commissioner Lewis. Are there comments or questions from the board on the motion? All right, seeing none from public. Okay. We had extensive discussion at the Public Works Committee. So didn't have that may be a good opportunity to review the minutes and the video from that meeting. Other comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you, Mr. President. 10B, I move to adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application to the Greenways, Trails and Recreation Program for the Coventry Park Pedestrian Connection at the intersection of New Second Street and Coventry Road in the amount of $220,209.50. Mr. President?
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis. Again, this is another item that there was some extensive discussion about this possible grant opportunity. So other comments or questions from the board? All right, seeing none. How about from the public? Okay. Then all those in favor of adopting the resolution authorizing the submission for the grant application, say aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mr. President. With no follow-up actions, I move to accept the regular meeting minutes dated June 3rd for the Public Works Committee.
Thank you, Commissioner Lewis. Comments or questions from the board or the public? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the minutes from the June 3rd Public Works Committee meeting, say aye.
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 Thank you. On to item number 11, the Building and Zoning Committee met also on June 3rd. The committee has no business to bring before the board this evening, so I will simply move for approval of the Building and Zoning Committee meeting minutes from that date. Comments or questions on the motion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the meeting minutes from June 3rd for Building and Zoning, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. On to item number 12, Public Safety Committee met on June 10th, led by our fearless Commissioner Brockington. Commissioner Brockington, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, tonight, from that meeting on June 10th, we have 5 items to address. Item 12A, adoption of an ordinance amending Chapter 285 Vehicle and Traffic, Article 4, Scheduled Traffic Regulations, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulation of Cheltenham Township Code to add a handicap parking space in front of 314 Cotman Avenue on the south side of Cotman Avenue. Mr. President, call for a vote.
So we have a motion on the table. Are there comments or questions from the board? Seeing none from the public? All right, Manager Elliott, do you have an ordinance number for us?
I do. It is ordinance number 2510-26.
Would you call the roll?
Sure. And it is Commissioner Arman,
Aye.
Commissioner Brockington,
Aye.
Commissioner Cherico,
Aye.
Commissioner Lewis,
Aye.
Commissioner Norris,
Aye.
Commissioner Stein,
Aye.
and Commissioner Jeremy Walls.
Aye.
Passes unanimously.
All right, thank you all. Commissioner Brockington.
Yes, thank you. At least I got the Roman numerals right this time, Commissioner Arman. Yes, I've been practicing my Roman numerals. I had to pull out my 5th grade math book. All right, so we're going to go on to item 12B. Approval of a purchase order from Northwestern University School and Staffing and Command in the amount of $4,850 for a sergeant to attend training, and the funds will be paid through the asset forfeiture funds. Mr. President?
Commissioner Brockington's motion's on the floor. Comments or questions there? All right, seeing none. How about from the public? All right, all those in favor of approval of the purchase order so described, say aye.
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 Thank you. On to item 12C. The authorization to advertise an ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicle and Traffic, Article 4, Schedule of Traffic Regulations, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulation of Cheltenham Township Code to add a stop sign on Cedar Road at Marvin Road, something that we've all been waiting for.
All right,
Yes.
thank you.
President?
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. Comments or questions on this motion? All right, seeing none from the public? All right. All those in favor of the authorization to advertise the ordinance described by Commissioner Brockington, say aye. Aye.
Thank you. We're going to move on to item 12D, authorization of the township staff to submit a TE 160 application to update the traffic signal permit at the intersection of Ashbourne Road, Arbor Road, Ashmead Road, and Front Street. Mr. President?
Commissioner Brockington has a motion for authorization to submit the TE 160 application. Any comments or questions? How about from the public? See anyone? All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. And the last item tonight, authorization to advertise an ordinance amending Chapter 285, Vehicle and Traffic, on Article 5, Scheduled Traffic Regulations, Section 285-43, Street and Parking Regulation of Cheltenham Township Code to reduce the speed limit on Ashbourne Road between Mill Road and Front Street from 40 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour. And this was discussed heavily on several occasions. Mr. President, I turn over to you.
Yeah. Before I turn over for questions, I noticed that there's a change to this proposed ordinance. So Manager Elliott, would you kindly just describe what the change was and what prompted it?
Absolutely. It was brought up in our meeting that there was a request to see if we could extend the speed limit reduction from New Second Street back to Mill Road. So lengthening the reduction limit. Mr. Coyle was able to reach out to PennDOT and talk with them and reach an agreement to be able to reduce that speed for the entire length. So we're really excited to be able to do that as part of this ordinance rather than having to do another ordinance later down the road.
Excellent. Excellent work, Manager
Fantastic.
Elliott and Mr. Coyle. Thank you for your efforts there. I'll go to Commissioner Cherico and then Commissioner Stein.
Nope, that was my question. Thank you.
Good. Commissioner Stein?
Just going to say thanks for doing that. So
Great. All around. Okay. So we have a motion. Any other comments or questions? All right. All those in favor of authorizing the advertisement of the ordinance described by Commissioner Brockington, say aye.
Aye. Thank you. And the last item for tonight would just be the approval for our regular meeting minutes, which were held on June 10th.
All right. All those, well, actually, are there any comments or questions on the minutes?
No.
All right. Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the minutes from June 10th for the public safety meeting, say aye.
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 Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Someone's putting their 3-minute timer on us, I think. That's right. Commissioner Brockington.
They were like done.
Overstayed
Done.
your time. Okay. Moving on to item number 13. Public Affairs also met on June 10th. Commissioner Cherico.
And I'll be very brief. We only have one action item from that meeting, and that is the appointment of Deborah Richmond of Wyncote, Pennsylvania, to be a voting member on the Traffic Calming Committee representing Wards 3 and 4. So I make a motion for that appointment, and I also thank her for her contribution and volunteer service.
Absolutely. Any other comments or questions from the board? No, seeing none. All those in favor of the appointment, say aye. Aye.
And I'll just make a motion to approve the minutes for the Public Affairs Committee from June 10th.
Thank you, Commissioner Cherico. Comments or questions on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the meeting minutes from Public Affairs June 10th meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Moving on to item number 14, the Finance Committee also met on June 10th. Commissioner Norris.
Thank you, Mr. President. In my absence, Commissioner Jeremy Walls handled that meeting. I would like to thank her for her service that evening. There are no items that need our attention this evening, so I will simply move for acceptance of the regular meeting minutes dated June 10th, 2026 for the Finance Committee.
All right. Comments or questions on the minutes? All right. Commissioner Jeremy Walsh did an excellent job. You have some stiff competition, Commissioner Norris.
I noticed that my big gaffe was not noted in the minutes. Should we amend the minutes to fix that error?
The minutes are written to protect the innocent.
Thank you. I was flattered.
All in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to item number 15, Old business, there's nothing on the agenda for this evening for old business, but I'll open it up for the board if anybody has old business they'd like to discuss. Nope. Commissioner Cherko.
Sure. We spoke about this. I guess it was last week. Wow, that was a long week. Do we have an update at this point on where we stand with getting the documents to revision for Lamont?
So we are working on getting our bid documents finalized, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. They have a commitment from our township engineer to get their side of the documents to them by the end of this week. So it's a matter of coordination between kind of the site work and the building work for the drainage of the drains from around the exterior of the basement level into that connection. But other than that, we are wrapping up the kind of final technical aspects of the contract, or I'm sorry, the bid documents, and getting them up and ready for inclusion on our OpenGov procurement site. So we believe we are on track for the next couple of weeks to get them out to bid.
So if I can just follow up on this. So you say the next couple weeks. I understand that the goal is to put these to bid out by July 1. Can you tell us that is absolutely going to happen?
Yes, we will do that.
Thank you.
Can I ask an additional question? Was there an application to the state Bahar, I believe, as well? Was that submitted?
That has been submitted, yes.
Just wanted to close the loop on that.
I just want to make one additional comment that I don't think there's a scenario where delaying the bidding is going to be agreeable to anyone on this board. So if there's anything that you may need from other staff or from anyone else, I would ask that you please do everything in your anything possible to bring in the people necessary to get this done on time, because I don't want this to be delayed any further.
We will do that. Yes.
Commissioner Stein.
Can we get an update on this at the committee level from either the architects or the engineer, like where this puts our timeline now? Because I think we're a couple months behind where we thought we would be at this point. So what this looks like for next year, and what the specifics are on the bidding process if we're not going to start that now until July.
You're saying at an upcoming public affairs meeting?
Yeah.
Actually, I would suggest, if I may, that coincidentally, we have a public works and a building and zoning meeting on July 1st. So perhaps if we could bring the folks from revision in that day, it would be, they would not only be able to affirm that they've gotten everything that they need, but also then they could talk about the next steps, which would be putting the bids out that first week of July, which I think is the goal in order to hopefully keep us on track to have ceremonial perhaps, but some sort of groundbreaking by Lamont Day.
So Drew of Revision sent an email today to Jerry Brown and myself, and that email said that if the bidding goes out on July 1, we can have the bids by the end of July. We can vote on them, choosing one in August, and then have, if not like you said, an official but a ceremonial groundbreaking on Lamont Day. And so that is what I hope will happen, and I encourage our staff to do everything possible to do that.
Thank you, Commissioner Chair. Oh, Commissioner Sherman Waltz. Yeah, please. Oh, a new issue. Okay. Before we go, any other comments or questions on that item? Okay. Commissioner Sherman Waltz.
I'm always jumping the gun. I was wondering if it would be possible, because I see Bill is here, to get sort of a recap on this weekend's event at Linwood Hall.
Mr. Salvatore.
Are we on here? Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, all set.
So what would you like to know? Everything and anything?
For those who were not able to join us, just a recap of the evening, numbers, how it went.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was our June event for Cheltenham Celebrates America 250. It was a coordinated effort with the Linwood Hall Preservation Foundation on our summer kickoff party, which we did last year at Renninger Field with the drone show and music and all that good stuff. This year we pivoted and we did a VIP kind of cocktail hour with tours of the building. We had 267 participants on that. We sold 250 tickets, and then we had an additional 27 comp tickets for sponsors, which was great. We raised about $4,500 in sponsorships for that. Then at 6 o'clock, we opened the gates to the public. We had food trucks and a band and a DJ and a beer garden and wine and cider and everything you can imagine. And we estimate about 1,000 people attended the event in total. We did do a shuttle service from 3 different sites for people who couldn't park in the VIP area. Somewhere between 12 and 15 shuttles of 32 people made their way to and from the hall. So we wrapped up just about 9 o'clock, 9:15, and so everybody on their way safely. We had great help from the Parks Maintenance team, the building maintenance team, of course, Parks and Rec, the entire Public Works team, the police, emergency management, you name it, they were on site to make sure it was a smooth event. And the vibe from the night was, it was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Couldn't get behind that gate without a golden ticket, and we did it. So happy to say that we were able to do it. And I'm pretty sure I've been charged with doing it again next year. Is that acceptable?
Yeah. Just a question, Mr. Salvatore. So I wasn't able to make it, but I did hear great things about it. But just sort of following on the last comment that you made that we're going to try and do it again next year, I think it got a lot of great response. But as with any event, there's always things that work really well, maybe things that we can improve upon. I'm not going to ask you to sort of report out on any of that right now, but I think probably some sort of postmortem on things that worked, things that we want to improve to the board would be helpful so that we could help support for next year.
Commissioner, you know Parks and Rec too well. We have a debrief scheduled with everybody on the team in the next 2 weeks.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments for Bill? Okay. Nope, you're off the hook. You're off the hook.
I just want to share that we are at about $35,000 raised of the $50,000 that we budgeted. So we're getting close to getting exactly at that gap.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Jeremy Walsh. Any other old business for this evening? All right. Seeing none, we'll close old business and we'll move to new business. We have 2 items on the agenda. The first, item 16A, concurrence with the Montgomery County Consortium heating oil bid awarded by the Upper Gwinnett Township Board of Commissioners on June 8th, 2026 to Wilson of Wallingford. Sorry, it just strikes me as a funny name. Wilson of Wallingford for the provision of heating, I think it's heating number 2 heating oil at a cost of $5.59.8 per delivered gallon beginning August 1st, 2026 to July 31st, 2026. Manager Elliott, can you just give us a brief overview of this matter?
Yes, so we heat 2 of our buildings in the township with oil. That is our tax office and Glenside Library. So we participate in the county consortium, which uses its buying power from a much larger group of buyers to help manage the costs of purchasing the heating oil. The cost of $5.98 per delivered gallon includes delivery costs, but it's also kind of based on a floating rate. So it's based on whatever the dollar value is on the day that they submit their bid. So it can change, it can go up or down based on whatever the rate is. I was looking at last year's bid and it was about $2 less per gallon delivered. So that was a pretty shocking number to me. But hopefully things will kind of go down as we move forward throughout the contract year.
Okay. Comments or questions from the board? Commissioner Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you. What's the projected annual costs for this based on our usage?
That's a good question. I can get back to you on that. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Good question. Any other comments or questions?
I would say it's probably about 2,500 gallons a year. So whatever that math adds up to.
That's some fast math. Okay, thank you for that. All right. With that, I will move for concurrence with the consortium heating oil bid award. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Item 16B, approval of a settlement agreement and general release between the Township Teamsters Local Union number 115 and employee number 26538 to resolve a grievance. I am going to recuse myself because of a professional affiliation I have with Teamsters Local Union 115, but I'll turn it over to Commissioner Brockington for a motion.
Are there any questions from any? Is he making a statement?
I think he's just checking.
Oh, okay. Okay. Any questions from commissioners in reference to item 16B? So I make a motion to approve item 16, pre-approval of the settlement agreement and general release between the township and the Teamster Local 115 and the employees number 26538 to resolve this grievance. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. That concludes the new business on the agenda. Is there any other new business from commissioners this evening? Commissioner Brockington.
Yes, I do have one new business item, mainly for my residents that live in East Cheltenham, just to remind them that trash will not be picked up and recyclables will not be picked up tomorrow due to Flag Day, which was observed by our staff on Monday. Trash was pushed back one day, so your trash will be picked up on East Cheltenham on Friday, trash and recycling. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Brockington. Any other new business? All right, Commissioner Brockington has another.
I do have
for
one.
that.
I wanted to remind everyone that the Cheltenham African American Alliance will be having their Juneteenth event on Friday at Cheltenham High School. I believe it starts around 10 a.m. and runs to maybe around 5. But that's at Cheltenham High School on Friday, Juneteenth. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Always a great event. Okay. Commissioner Brockington, do you have more new business?
Yes, no.
Anyone else? All right, we're going to close new business and we will open it up for citizens forum. Item number 17. Ms. Brown. 3 minutes. Just state your name for the minutes and the area of the township where you live, and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Okay, the name is Jerry Brown. I live in Lamont. And get my notes straight here. And I have my posse with me today just in case there's any trouble. How much time do I have? 3 minutes?
You'll have 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, my Lamont Citizens United people, please stand up for a minute because I want to read our mission statement. We Lamont Citizens United are dedicated to exploring and supporting all positive avenues for full restoration.
Auntie Jerry, can you speak into the microphone?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Full restoration and in the community center, free library, and other community space by implementing programs that provide sustainability and create a safe haven and gathering place for all Lamont citizens and maintain the historic significance of all landmarks in the village of Lamont. We believe that working with Lamont residents and other key partners to preserve this past will ensure the future for our community and our children. So now, having said that, I have a few questions. The first question is, thank you, Commissioner and Emily, you took my first question about the bidding. Thank you. My second question is, when are the contractors being selected and when will they start to evaluate the conditions in the building? The next question is, what is the status of the $3.8 million given the delays that we're having as far as them starting? And when is construction projected to begin and end? You may have answered that already, but those are the questions that I have. And the next question, it has to do with, and I know it's been answered a million times, but it's about the eyesore around, my time is up, eyesore around Willow Avenue. Everything is torn down, but it's such an eyesore. And I know the person, from what I understand, who had the property skipped town. And so he's being sought after, to pay the fees. But is it any way that the township can clean that up? And just get him? I'm just asking.
Ms., any other comments or questions? Okay, so I'm going to just respond to a couple of them that I know that I know the answers to, or I think I know the answers to. And we may have to get back to you on some of the others. In terms of Lamont, the purpose of putting out the bids is to get the contractors to bid on the project so that we could bring them in to do it. So that is that's what we were talking about earlier. The idea is to put the bids out the beginning of July, hopefully have submissions by the end of July, and then we can make a selection shortly thereafter. In terms of the funding for the project, in particular, the funding that came from the federal government, as I understand it, that money is still ours, and it's going to get spent on Lamont. Okay. Is that accurate? Okay. In terms of when construction's going to start, I don't have an answer for that. It's going to have to be once we get the contractors, then they're going to put together a calendar, I'm sure. Okay.
I just hope it's soon.
Yes,
I
agreed.
have to come after you.
No, we don't want that either. And then in terms of your question about code enforcement, we'll get back to you. We'll have our code enforcement officer either reach out to you or report out at a follow-up meeting.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people have been complaining about it, but they came to me, so I said I would ask about it tonight.
Thank you very much. And thank you for everybody who's here, who's got your back over there. Oh, please.
Just to jump in on your question on the contractors. So when the bid is actually open on OpenGov, we'll send you guys an email so you can take a look at it, so that if you know of contractors who would be interested and qualified to submit a bid, they'll be able to look at that information on OpenGov and be able to follow that process. There will be a schedule. So partway through, once the bid opens, there'll be a pre-construction or pre-bid meeting, sorry. So if they are interested, they'll be able to meet on the site and take a look at the conditions and ask questions about the bid documents before they submit a bid. So that'll all be available on our OpenGov procurement system. We'll send you an email with a link, and it'll be also available on our website, so you can find that link as well.
Commissioner Shermy Walls.
I just wanted to add one additional point. At the last meeting that we had, it was brought up, there was a question about, were we at risk of losing our grant and our state funding? We are not at risk of losing that funding right now, and we are on it. We are keeping a close eye on it, and that will not happen, I promise you.
We couldn't tell. Any other, I see at least one hand on Zoom. Any other folks for Citizens Forum here in the hall? Yes, sir. Welcome.
Thank you and good evening. Randy Libros. I live around the corner from Commissioner Norris and down the street from Commissioner Brockington. And by the way, thank you for that heads up about the trash collection. Would have gotten home tonight and rushed to get everything out. We really appreciate, I'm also part of the organization East Cheltenham Cares. And we all really appreciated, I guess it was about 6 months ago, the welcoming policy that was passed and how it expressed and reflected our community values of really welcoming and accepting everybody in our community. We're also aware, and I think many of you are also aware, that Citizens Bank it has been the sort of the main holdout in the banking industry of providing financing to the Geo Group and Core Civic, the companies that are building and running these detention centers, which I think are more like concentration camps than they are anything else. We're also aware that the township has at least a couple of accounts with Citizens Bank. So I want to start actually with a question, because back in February, we communicated with Commissioner Norris about that, and we were told at that time that efforts were being made to close out an account. And we're just wondering, where do we stand with that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. We are in the final stage of closing that account, and it should be done very quickly. In
Okay,
fact,
that's
the board, well, some of us on the board followed up on that recently, and we're provided an update that is in the final stages. So thank you for that question.
Okay, that's great to hear. We understand we had actually someone from the Cheltenham Immigration Response Group did a Freedom of Information request about accounts, and it came up that there are two accounts came up. One was the police petty cash, and the other was the concentration account. Is the concentration account what's being closed?
That's going to be a question for our Director of Fiscal Affairs, but in terms of I don't know what the name is, but what I understand is that the township's account is in the final stages of being closed. Obviously, it takes a little time to unwind that, but the township's account is being closed.
Okay, so the township will no longer have any accounts with Citizens Bank.
That's correct.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Yeah, any projection as to how soon?
We're in the final stage of doing it. I can't give you an exact date because
understood.
Sitting here, I don't know, but we've been assured that it's in the final process.
Okay, that's great news. Thanks so much.
Come back and check with us next month, and hopefully we'll have a clearer answer for you.
I'll be here.
Please do.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else here in the hall? All right. Seeing none, all right, you almost missed your chance. Come on up.
We were debating who should go first for a second. My name's Ed Jones. I live on Cadwallader Avenue. And I really have not much to say except thank you, because you just answered my question about whether these accounts with Citizens Bank would be closed. I just want to make sure it really is both accounts are closed. You mentioned one. Apparently there are two. So we look forward to seeing that both of those will get closed. I had a long speech here, at least 3 minutes worth, which I will not give you, except simply to say that the ICE facilities, what is going on inside of them is simply unconscionable. And the fact that Citizens Bank has simply said over and over, we're following the law. Well, slave owners follow the law too, you know, didn't mean they were morally correct. So I'm really delighted to see both from last fall when you really worked with us with the welcoming policy, and now again to pay attention to these, I think, really important connections between township actions and your moral voice. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Oh. If you're going to speak, you don't have to wait. You could just come and get in line so we can make sure that we're moving at a good clip. Thank you. Welcome.
I'm Pam Albright, and I'm also in East Cheltenham. Is that better? I'm also part of East Cheltenham Cares and Cheltenham Immigration Response. And well, first of all, I really appreciate that you're making the effort to close the Citizen Bank accounts. I hope we can just get clarified that, as Ed also said, that every account you have with Citizens Bank is being closed. And yes, you're going to look into that to make sure. Appreciate that. Oh, let me step back for a second. I also am here supporting the Lamont people who, and I want to see, I'm also really supporting that that renovation get going as soon as possible. Because the fear is, of course, that the federal government is not really supporting this kind of thing. So we want to make sure that we don't get stopped in the process of doing what we want to do to support the history of our township. So I just wanted to mention that as Cheltenham, we're in good company with other places that are trying to divest from Citizens Bank. Jersey City, I don't know if any of you or some of you may have heard, Jersey City last week decided they were divesting their Citizens Bank accounts. The whole city is, and they had some really, I thought, were very powerful statements from the mayor and a couple of the council people. The mayor of James Solomon of Jersey City said, Citizens Bank made a choice to finance the caging of human beings for profit. Jersey City is making a choice too. We will not be complicit, and we've already begun the process of pulling city funds. As long as institutions continue to bankroll the private prison industry and the suffering it depends on, we will use every tool at our disposal to ensure Jersey City taxpayers are not financing the abuse of our neighbors. I appreciate the advocacy of council members. They have Ephros and Brooks on this critical issue. So I'm not going to read a lot more, but just Councilman Ephros also had a pretty powerful statement here. He said, ICE is a rogue agency inflicting terror on immigrant communities, and the private prison industry exists for one reason, to profit from that terror. Citizens Bank is a willing partner in that project. Jersey City's money will not fund human rights abuses, and we will not rest until ICE is abolished. So I'm glad Cheltenham is taking part in this also, and I hope many other towns and cities do the same to end the abusive practices of Citizens Bank with these corporations that are inflicting such inhumane and horrible conditions on innocent people. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Hello, my name is Jerry Lindauer. I live on Overhill Road. So I appreciate your stance on the bank. In some ways, it may feel to people like it's quite removed from the actual functioning of the township commissioners. But those places where the larger world intersects with our community are really important. And they're the places where we feel we can make the most contribution. So as long as we're going to get the money out of the banks, I'd like to request that whoever is withdrawing the money communicate to the bank the reason. Otherwise, it's just somebody taking their money out of an account. Doesn't have to be a formal resolution of the commissioners, but if there's a sense that that's important to the commissioners, to ask whoever is executing it to say that Citizens Bank investment in private detention centers does not match the values of Cheltenham Township, and that's the reason that we're withdrawing it. How does that sound to y'all?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
If I might add, we have communicated to Citizens Bank that we would be closing the account out once we go through all the closeout procedures and clear out any outstanding revenue that's coming and going. And so we did send him an email letting him know that we were closing it and this is the reason why. So.
Thank you, Manager Elliott. All right. Any other public comment, citizens forum here in the hall? All right, we're going to close it here in the hall, and I see two hands up. We're going to start with Amy Freed, and then we'll go to Steph. Hey, Ms. Freed?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Good evening.
Oh, great. Good evening. I wanted to thank the commissioners for the information that you just gave us about Citizens Bank and about your going forward to close the account. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. And also that, I think it would be, I want to echo what Mr. Lindauer said about, making sure that, this is a high point for Cheltenham, and making sure that people know why you're doing it is, in Cheltenham itself, is important, that we don't support the illegal and immoral imprisonment of documented or undocumented peoples. So I just wanted to, encourage you to spread it as far and wide as you can. I think it's something to be proud of. And thanks again. I'll end here.
Thank you very much for your comments. Steph, welcome. Good evening.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you now, but we can't see you anymore, but we can hear you now.
Okay. I think I'm in safe driving mode. But anyway, my name's Steph Kranak. I live on Oak Lane Road, in Dan Norris's ward. And I really, I'm just following up with gratitude and appreciation that the steps to close our Citizens Bank account are wrapping up, that we have already communicated to Citizens Bank why we're closing the accounts, and just really proud of our township for, kind of punching above our weight class with things like the township policy and closing these accounts. It's really reassuring to see, the difference that we're able to make, being a little bit more at the forefront of, pushing back on these parts of the administration. So just thank you so much for your courage and being proactive.
Thank you very much. All right. And any other, now we can see you and you're muted, by the way. Any other comments for Citizens Forum online? Going once, twice. All right, we're going to close Citizens Forum. It is 8:35 p.m. and I will move. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Cherico.
I want to thank everyone who spoke tonight about the Citizens Bank and about Lamont. And I would like to encourage all of you who spoke tonight and came here tonight to be sure to attend the Juneteenth event tomorrow. I appreciate your advocacy, and I'm sure it'll be well attended. And I hope to see all of your faces there tomorrow at noon.
Thank you, Commissioner Cherico. So with that, still 8:35. I'll move for adjournment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Good evening, everybody.